Ahí está, ahí está.
To be using this. Welcome everyone on Facebook Live, and to remind all of our mayors that this meeting is being recorded and it will be available for the public on our MRC website. The third issue on the agenda is the time that we are going to devote in this meeting to our colleague, Mayor Morris Beauregard, and use this time as a time for a tribute and a moment of silence. I would like to begin by simply saying that over the past year, we've watched Morris valiantly, bravely, courageously fight cancer, and it wasn't one cancer, it was cancer in 4 parts of his body, and how he endured it, we just cannot imagine. And I want to thank Mayor Colleen LaRiviere for informing me on the weekend when Morris had passed. Immediately, the massage and our law lowered the flag to have peace, and I believe some of the municipalities have done the same. So, in our flag. And on Monday, we sent out a press release simply conveying our sadness and remorse. And I state that we have a moment's silence tonight, and I ask each of you to say a few words about him. Today, I was at the funeral home in Shawville, and I told Kelly and his sons that we would be doing this tonight and that it would be recorded. And so they'll be busy tonight because there's another viewing from 7 to 9. But I think it would be very nice if everyone said something so that they could hear this later. Tomorrow is the funeral at 11 o'clock. I know everyone here who can be there is going to be, and been advised we should be there early because it will be a very full church, a very full funeral because Morris was only 43 years of age and he has touched many lives, and people from many aspects of his life will want to be there. I am going to read from this lovely memorial piece that was given out today at the funeral home. And also I wanted to thank Lean and Kim for taking the time to make these ribbons, which everyone is wearing. And I'm told that this mauve color is not, pink's breast cancer. This is for all other types of cancer. And so we are wearing this in memory of Morris. Morris Beauregard, 1979 to 2022. It is with deep sadness that we announce Morris's passing after a courageous battle with cancer on October 15th, 2022 at the age of 43. Survived by his loving wife, Kelly, their two sons, Hunter and Carter, parents, Nelson and Janice, siblings, Bonnie, Trevor and Jesse, as well as many nieces and nephews, family, and friends. Morris was a proud and humble man. He genuinely cared about his family, friends, and community. He was driven and hardworking, and his vibrant and charismatic personality will be deeply missed. On a personal note, I would like to say that Morris was full of fun. He never held back. He always said exactly what was on his mind. And that was refreshing. And that was very healthy for our council. And in particular, I just want to thank him for his contribution in particular to forestry. And he was a champion of Campbell's Bay. And he also was very interested in budget items and HR items here, and was always giving it good scrutiny and accountability. And he was such a family man and full of so many stories. And we just miss you very much, Morris. And so at this point, I'm going to pass the microphone around the table and just say whatever you would like, please. Ed?
Hello, I'm Ed Walsh. I'm the mayor for Clarendon. I'd heard of Morris before, but I had the opportunity of meeting Morris just around a year ago, and I knew from the first time I met him at a council meeting that he was a person that made from the same grit as I was or whatever. So I got to know Morris quickly over a year, and we had some good conversations on that. I knew his heart belonged to Campbell's Bay, and he's a very dedicated family man, and he's going to be missed very much around the mayor's table.
Hello, this is Brent Orr, Mayor of Bristol. It was an honor to work alongside Morris. He was dedicated, honest, and tenacious. He said what he was thinking, and that was very refreshing. So he'll be greatly missed in his family and community.
Colleen Larvier, Mayor of Leachfield. First of all, I'd like to take this opportunity to express my sympathies to the family and Morris's wife, Kelly, Carter, and Hunter, and his parents, Janice and Nelson. I had the opportunity, I've known Morris for a very long time. I knew him as a young fireman, as a counselor in Campbell's Bay, and then the mayor of Campbell's Bay. And I have to say, in the first term, the first 4 years, we got to know each other quite well. We considered ourselves a team in many aspects. He said it the way it was. He didn't care if he was ruffling feathers. He was polite and he was courteous, but he was real. And that's what we're going to miss about him. So again, I express my deepest sympathies, and we have him in our heart. Thank you.
Alain Gagnon, Bryson, c'était un privilège de travailler avec Maurice et de le connaître. Un homme droit, généreux, un bon vivant, mais surtout fier de sa communauté qui le représentait d'une façon magistrale. Avec mes sympathies à son épouse, ses enfants, le conseil et tous les employés de la municipalité et tous les gens de la municipalité de Campbell's Bay. C'est un homme à se souvenir. Un bon exemple. Merci.
Bill McClary, Shawville. I'm not a man that's easily impressed, but within half a day of meeting Morris at the first plenary meeting, he impressed me. I like to think we had similar thinking. My deepest condolences to his family.
Terry LaFleur, Otter Lake. I had the pleasure of working with Morris, getting to know Morris. I always respected Morris. He had a great way of calling BS out and making you feel good about it. My deepest sympathies to his lovely wife and his two kids, who he talked about incessantly because he loved them so dearly. He was so proud of you guys. Never forget that. Well, Mr. Morris.
Maurice et Sandra Armstrong, maire de Mansfield et Pontefract. Pour moi, Maurice est un homme fier de sa famille et de sa communauté. I was very honored to be working with him this past year. Mo was fun to listen to. I had to admit that the first few weeks working with him, I wasn't really sure, but he was well respected by everybody, and I will miss him very much. My deepest sympathies to his family, friends, and the Camas community.
Christine Francard, Mayor for Collonges. I just met Morris about a year ago, right after the elections. And when I met him, I noticed right away that he was somebody that I needed to know better. He was a very intelligent man, but unfortunately, he left us too soon. My sympathies to all the family. He will be missed around the table here.
Odette Godin, Waltham. People call me Odie. I have a little story about Morris. I had never met him, never heard his name. Everybody knows I get lost everywhere, even with a GPS. So my very first council meeting was in Bryson, and I got lost and proceeded to take a nosedive into a ditch. But I went to the meeting. After the meeting, when I went to leave, there was a guy standing there. Asked me if I was okay. And I said, oh yeah, because you know, I'm tough. And he said, listen, how about if I give you a ride home? I said, oh no, I have my car. I'll go get you tomorrow. So I said, well, who are you? And he said, I'm the mayor of Campbell's Bay. I said, but I live in Waltham. He said, yeah, I know that. I know your name's Odie. And who does that? You know, and like that, I think sums him up. He actually took me under his wing. His very last revitalization meeting, he was sick. He gave me his phone number, told me to call. He had nothing to do. He was bored. And I'm really going to miss him, and I have no words. Well, I have always have words, but to express how sorry I am to his family and his friends. I'm going to miss you.
Carl Mayer, Eileen and Kaywood. I had the privilege of working with Morris for 5 years. He wasn't scared to say what he had to say. And I was on the bike thing with him and for the four-wheelers, and he was fighting for that too. He'll be missed around the table because he said what he said, he didn't hold back. So my condolences to his family.
I'm Robert Wills, the pro mayor of Thorn. I never knew Morris very well. I met him a couple of times, but everyone that did know him seemed to hold him in very high regard. So I sympathize with his family having to do without him from now on.
Jean-Louis Corriveau, le maire de l'île du Grand-Calmet. Moi, j'ai connu Maurice au mois de novembre quand j'ai rentré à l'MRC comme maire. Aussitôt que j'ai rentré, Maurice a comme essayé à m'aider et m'informer de tous les dossiers. C'était un gars que j'appréciais beaucoup. Je trouvais que c'était un gars qui s'informait beaucoup, qui était beaucoup présent dans la communauté puis au point de vue de la MRC. Fait que je vais le manquer beaucoup parce que, comme j'ai dit, c'était un gars qui m'aidait beaucoup. Fait que j'offre mes sympathies à sa femme, ses enfants, puis merci beaucoup, Maurice, de m'avoir aidé.
Doris Stranger, Municipality of Sheenborough. First, I'd like to pass on my condolences to Kelly and the boys and his other siblings and parents. I got to know Morris about 5 years when he became mayor, and he was very supportive. And being an Anglophone, he was always willing to help you. And if he noticed that you were struggling at all, he was there to pass it on in a nice way. Morris was, I would have to say, Campbell's Bay is going to really miss him. This man brought a lot to the table here. And he was not only interested in his own community, but in everybody else's. He was also a strong supporter of Residence Bière. He faithfully bought those tickets monthly. Without saying more, we're really going to miss him.
Lynn Cameron, Portage de Fort. I've worked with Morris 5 years too, and I don't think there was very many committees he wasn't on. And he had that famous saying, well, I don't want to stir up anything, but, and I'm going to miss that.
Donald Gagnon, Chichester. I've probably known Morris since he was in high school because him and my son went to school together. And his hunting and fishing stories and, he was a dedicated man to his municipality, his family, all around. And he'll be missed here for sure. We'll all miss him.
Oui, bon, Bernard Roy, directeur général de la MRC de Pontiac. Maurice est le maire où j'habite et c'est un homme fier, c'est un voisin aussi. C'est un homme quelqu'un qui est du milieu, qui reste dans le milieu, dans sa communauté, qui est apprécié de ses voisins, de ce qu'il fait. C'est un homme généreux, c'est un homme de grand cœur. J'ai une pensée pour moi aussi, sa famille, sa femme, ses enfants, tous ses proches, parce qu'il avait quand même beaucoup de proches autour de lui. Il attirait le monde autour de lui. Et c'est le signal, c'est le signe d'un homme qui est apprécié de sa communauté.
Thank you, everyone. And I just also wanted to add, we know that we've given a large sum of money by the...
Jane? Hello, Jane.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, Ed.
No, that's all right. I just wanted to say a little something more. I just met Morris. This is my first year, my first term.
Could you start again, please?
Okay. I just wanted to say that I just met Morris. This is my first term. So I met him in November when I started. He was a very vocal man, and I didn't know at that time how to take him. But seeing as how we both ended up with the same problem, we became friends over that situation. Very sad with what happened. It shouldn't have happened that way. I feel worse because of what happened. I just want to wish all his family the best. We will miss him. Thanks, Jane.
Thank you, Doug. And please accept my apologies. I didn't have my glasses on, and I'll be watching your face for the rest of the meeting.
And Doug, we just want to wish you all the very best. I know you may be having an operation and we're behind you all the way. And we just wish you the best of health. And you've never missed a meeting. Morris was at all of our meetings right to the very end.
Yeah.
Too. But we really appreciate the fact that you're there on Zoom with us participating. And I was just going to add one last thing before we have our moment of silence, and that is that we have a very important committee called the Vitalization Committee, and basically it's how to spend $5 million. And Morris was chosen the president of that, and, you know, was doing a great job. So we'll to carry on and do our best in his memory. And Terry Lafleur is also, I guess, our vice president. So at this point, I would ask everyone just to close your eyes and think about Morris and his family. And I will let you know when the time is finished. Thank you. Okay, thank you very much. I'd like to welcome Robert Wills tonight, who is the pro mayor, as he introduced himself, of Thorn, taking Karen Kelly's position tonight. And I was realizing that we also, of course, have Doug Russell on Zoom. And no one is here from Campbell's Bay. And so it is, Corey Spence is here. Wonderful. Hi, Corey. You can sit right here. Yes. And we just finished giving a tribute, and we're not quite finished because your timing is perfect. Would you like to just say a few words? This is being recorded, and it's hoped that Morris's family will be able to hear it. So you can just identify yourself and say a few words.
Thank you. Yes, my name is Corey Spence. I'm mayor of Illes-Allumettes. I've known Morris for not quite a year, actually. When I first met him, he was a man of conviction, a man of who knew what he wanted, and a man who spoke very highly of his community. And he was, I can go on about all the good points about Morris, and I'd just like to wish his wife and sons, let them know that how well respected he was here in the community and at the MRC.
Thank you very much, Corey. So we will now go on to number 4, the declaration use of the language of your choice. Je rappelle l'importance pour les membres du conseil régional et les autres participants à la séance de s'exprimer librement dans la langue de leur choix. Au besoin, il y aura la présence sur place d'une ressource de la MRC pour assurer une traduction. I'd like to reiterate the importance for regional council members and other participants in the sitting to express themselves freely in the language of their choice. If necessary, a resource of the MRC will be available to ensure translation. We'll go on to I'd like to have someone please move a resolution of respect to the years that Maurice Beauregard gave at the MRC Council of Mayors. Would someone please, and that, yes, Colleen LaRiviere, please. Thank you very much. All those in favor, and it is recorded as unanimous. If that could be added, please, to our agenda. Thank you so much, Travis. So number 5 is the statement by the warden, the declaration of decorum. Nous sommes élus par les gens du Pontiac pour les représenter au mieux de nos capacités. Ils s'attendent à ce que nous menions nos réunions d'une manière professionnelle. J'écouterai très attentivement les débats et les discussions de cette réunion et si j'entends des paroles négatives ou des critiques à l'égard de quelqu'un d'autre, j'arrêterai la réunion et demanderai à cette personne de s'excuser. Je vous remercie. We are elected by the people of the Pontiac to represent them to the best of our ability. They expect us to conduct our meetings in a professional and businesslike manner. I will be listening very carefully to the debate and discussion in this meeting, and if I hear any words of negativity or criticism of anyone else, I will stop the meeting and ask that person to apologize. Thank you. We need to have a resolution for the reading and adoption of the agenda. Moved by Councillor Doris Ranger. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. Number 7, are there any declarations of conflict of interest on this agenda? Seeing none, we'll go on to number 8. And we need to adopt the minutes of the last sitting in September. Could I have a resolution? Moved by Councillor Donnie Gagnon. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. Public question period. Are there any questions? Oh, are there any members of the public here who would like to question the TNO agenda? No? We'll go on. Were there any questions for the TNO agenda? No. All right. I'll call on Annie Vinecourt to please give us the accounts paid, and we'll need a resolution after that. Thanks, Annie. Any questions or comments? Okay, seeing none, could I have someone move a resolution, please? Moved by Councillor Ed Walsh. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. Ed, thank you for not sitting beside Bill McCleary tonight. It's going to be, don't even suggest it. Don't put ideas in my head. Could I have a resolution, please, to close this sitting? Moved by Councillor Sandra Armstrong. All those in favor? Opposed? And the meeting is closed. I'd now like to welcome you to our Council of Mayors public meeting, October 19th, 2022. Could I have a resolution to open the meeting? Moved by Mayor Lynn Cameron. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. We have already circulated the attendance. Oh, Corey, have you had a chance to sign it? It will be brought to you. Perfect. Just to remind everybody that the meeting is being recorded on Facebook Live and will be available on our MRC website. I think I will not read the use of the language of your choice and the statement of decorum, if you don't mind. I just read it about 5 minutes ago. The same rules apply for this meeting. Number 5, could I have a resolution to read and adopt the agenda? And I believe we need to add a couple of items. Is that correct? One item. We have one item, which is concerning the FedPIC, yeah, CFP. Yeah, would you like to go ahead?
Yeah, we have to add an item. I think it's the item number 14.8, the last one of the administration section, and it's about CFP, so Picanok, and the renting of fiber to explore net.
And the resolution about the community forest has been added. Thank you very much. Excellent. Could I have someone then move the resolution to to adopt this agenda? Moved by Mayor Corey Spence. All those in favor? Opposed, and that carries. Are there any declarations of conflict of interest on this agenda? Okay, is this concerning FDT? Yes, okay. Okay, would there be any other mayors that also need to declare? Christine Francoeur on the same item? All right. Anyone else here needing to declare? Okay, thank you. Number 7, the adoption of the minutes of the last sitting in September. I need a resolution moved by Mayor Doris Ranger. Okay, you looked at me, Doris. Oh, that's what happens. All those in favor? Opposed, and that carries. Thank you. An update on coronavirus. Bernard, do you have anything in particular you would like to update in terms of staff?
So we, the staff is here at the MRC. No, nothing specifically about the COVID, but we take care of ourselves. We take care of clients, citizens coming in at the MRC.
Okay. Thank you. And just to reiterate what Bernard has said, we know that cases are on the rise, and that certainly at this time of year, they're also forecasting a very heavy flu season. A lot of people will come down with the flu. And so just a reminder for people to continue to take vaccinations. And we do know that the vaccination center at Campbell's Bay will finish at the end of December. And after that time, it will be CLSCs or perhaps some pharmacies to go and do. Any mayors have anything in particular that they want to add? Are there any issues in any of your municipalities? No? Okay, thank you very much. So be safe, everyone. Now it's time for the warden's report since the last council meeting. So many of us were at FQM, had a CPO meeting. I had a CHIP interview, meeting with Sandra Forbes, the opening of Morris Beauregard Park, which we're so thankful that Morris was well enough to be there. And it was a beautiful sunny day. And of course, the sign is there and everyone now knows. And really the timing after many different phases of that park started with a splash pad. Well, I guess improvements to the ball field. And what we saw that day was the opening, the kids all running to the playground equipment, and then the walking path that they have as well. So, you know, talk about revitalization of the downtown core of Campbell's Bay. I know we know it will be well used. I had an HR meeting, a Zoom call with Alexandre about the strategic vision, press conference with the other wardens to do with the fact that it was brought to the attention actually of the mayoress of Gatineau that they were short about $100,000. And so there happened to be 96,000 in the CPO that was unspent. And so that was donated. And then Gatineau put in an extra $4,000. So I attended that press conference and that money was gratefully received. And we do know that there are 17 organizations up in Pontiac. No, 17 organizations receive the funds for the food across the Outaouais, and we know we have Bluff Pontiac. So don't have any other food banks, do we? Okay. Thank you. Then met with some investors in Mansfield with the mayoress of Mansfield. I'm part of a Canwill GBV technical working group, which is basically through FCM. It's just on ensuring that there is no harassment of elected officials. Black River meeting, which Odie is always at. And we're coming actually through through Carrie Richardson. We've applied for a grant offered through the province, and that was just in and under the deadline, which will give money to study the situation with the Black River, which has caused a lot of flooding and issues for especially the Green Lake cottagers. And we're going to see what can be done about that. The La Rouche. Now, the La Rouche Outaouais, I'm going to ask them to do a presentation at our next plenary. This is crowdfunding, and it's very impressive, actually. We are now the 12th part of Quebec that they've come to. And the way it works is for OBNLs or municipalities or private groups that want to raise money, it's not easy. It's a platform, and I guess they would get a percentage, but basically they showed us that with these 12, with these other organizations, I think they had about 18 projects, they brought in $1.8 million. So it's really everybody around the table has projects that they need to raise money for. So I'd like them to come to our plenary and explain how it works. That was held in Chelsea. The opening of our beautiful gallery here. And, you know, it was a $3,500 grant given to a resident of Portage, Caitlin Brubacher. And she has reframed the Warden pictures. This color selection was chosen to go with the carpet. And some of our 16, we have a collection of 16 so far. And a call has gone out for the next piece of art that will be selected by our illustrious committee made up of Alain Gagnon and Lynn Cameron, and I'm sure they'll choose well what the next piece will be. It's a way of supporting the artist community in the Pontiac. Had a meeting of Pacin Pontiac, plenary meeting, task force. I'm on a task force to protect the English in the province of Quebec with Bill 96. The SADC, meeting with Colleen LaRiviere about projects in her municipality. Budget working meeting, we had our first. And our next meeting will be November 2nd. The CFP and then Care for Jeunesse. Unfortunately, I know Bernard, you were there. I showed up today. It was yesterday, but I heard the highlights. There were 115 participants. It was held in various places in the Pontiac, so a lot of it was virtual. And there were 150 jobs offered and 30 organizations offering them. So really great to see. And apparently they even had people participating from Montreal. So that concludes my report. Any questions? Okay, we'll go on then to announcements. This is the time where we go around the table. I'll just pass this same microphone. I think it's easier. And that way I won't be speaking at all as you're speaking. So I'll pass it to Corey Spence, and this is the time for you to talk about anything interesting in your municipality.
Thank you, Warden. Interest in our municipality. Well, I believe that the lots of congratulations to all the hunters out there who came back successful. They seem to be happy, and I also believe that some of their wives were happy. They got a break as well from them for a couple of weeks. Our community is preparing for Halloween coming up, and also we have tentatively booking for a Remembrance Day ceremony. So, yeah. And that's about it for now. Thank you.
I said Wall for Clarendon. We currently don't have anything for the month of October.
October is drawing to a close, but we have the Remembrance Day ceremony, November 11th at the Cenotaph in Bristol Village.
Nothing in Leachfield this month. Thank you.
Non, tranquille, Bryson aussi, ça va aller à Noël.
The Shawville merchants are going to have a trick or treat in the Main Street businesses October 29th, which is, I believe, is the Saturday, 11 to 1. And we're currently working on our Remembrance Day service. If anybody knows of a horn player We're having problems finding one.
Yeah. Otter Lake, the Alliance Autochtone is hosting a Halloween party on the 29th of October at the RA Hall. It is free for all the kids, and then they're having an adult party, Halloween party, right afterwards. I think starting at 7 for $15 a head. And then on the 5th of November, there is I think it's an Xmas craft fair or bazaar or something like that, hosted by Crystal DeBow, the owner of Rumors Restaurant. And that'll be on the 5th, I think, starting at 10 o'clock at the RA. And then, of course, we're planning our Remembrance Day celebration for the Sunday before, so the 6th.
As you can see, Halloween's on the corner of on my left with my two clowns. And so it's very quiet in Mansfield, but we do have something at Patro for candies for kids. So on the 28th of October is for kindergartens and les garderies. So that would be from 9 to 12. And on the 29th of October from 1 to 4, it'd be the older kids for sure. So there'll be stalls for different people, municipalities, and lots of people are coming over and the kids just walk around and pick up candies. That's about it.
In Fort Collonge, we are having another craft sale at the Golden Age Club on November 19th from 10 to 4. And we are also having Remembrance Day with our partners, Mansfield, which will be on November the 11th. And after the ceremony, we will be having a light lunch at the conference center.
Waltham, on October 26th, we're having a Halloween party at the ball field, the Gary Marchand ball field, $2 per kid admission. No idea at the time. And on October 27th, we are partnering with Chapeau for Halloween bowling. And bowling. And November 12th, we are having our fireman's party at Waltham Station. We're having our meal for just the firefighters, counselors, or wives, blah, blah. And after that, Larry will do his firefighter year. But at 8 o'clock, we're having our special presentation to those guys that have been there 50 years. And say two.
Aileen and Kaywood, they're having their Remembrance Day on the 11th at the Cenotaph.
About the biggest thing to happen in Thorn lately is that the municipality bought the Thorn Community Center building from the TCRA. The COVID lockdowns and things just knocked the knees out of that organization. They had no way to make money. And so the building was beginning to deteriorate. It's going to be a big job to bring it up to present standards and to find somebody who can maintain it with the love that the members of the TCRA have put into it for years and years and years. There's no way that money can replace the work of volunteers. But in modern day, it has to be businesslike.
L'île du Grand Calmet, c'est tranquille ce mois-ci, il n'y a pas rien. Merci.
Sheenborough on I guess October 29th, there's a Halloween dance. Looks like the masquerade, all the Halloweeners will be out that night. And as far as I know, it's sponsored by a new company, Shaken Up Chapel. They're an organization that they do all sorts of different drinks. If somebody is having a party, they can have them come to their place and say for a group of 25, you don't have to purchase anything, Dave. You give them an idea. They come, they do the bartending, they do everything. So, and there will be a Remembrance Day in Sheen also, probably low key again this year on Friday, November 11th. That's it for me.
Lynn Cameron, Portage de Fort. Everybody will be quite happy to know that our detour through the town should be done by Friday. No more running over our temporary lines and breaking them, and the townspeople being without water for 3 days. So they'll be happy too. We have our Remembrance Day on November 11th. And also there was another change to the bridge closing. It's not going to be closed on the 20th.
Hey, Chichester, nothing to report, but lots of interesting events happening. So we'll take some of those in.
Thank you very much. And I've been asked to just add a couple of things for Mansfield. October 30th, the firemen's 40th anniversary. Pardon me. Starting at 2 at the fire hall. Thank you. And then November 26th, the Marché de Noël at Bryson House. Excellent. Thank you very much. Okay, so we will go on then in the agenda. Oh, Doug, do you have anything? Anything in particular, Doug?
On the 21st, we're having flu and COVID shots at our municipal office.
Because of anything?
And that's about it.
Doug, you're not muted, are you? Oh, take your headphones off. I think that's what it is.
Yeah,
Unplug your headphones.
I did. How's that?
Cannot hear you. Take your.
I don't know. It's unplugged. No, they're unplugged. I got them unplugged.
Did you unplug it?
Oh, well.
From the computer. Oh, he's got the wire there. Okay.
Can you hear me at all?
Can you
go ahead? I'll type it out.
I don't know what's different.
Okay.
I think I can read your lips.
No, I got the headphones unplugged.
I'm hearing you. Go ahead.
On the 21st of this month, we've got COVID and flu vaccinations at our municipal office.
Okay.
Our kids will be doing Halloween. They're going to go into Deep River. There's not enough houses in Swisha. And that's it.
Okay. Thank you so much, Doug. Thank you. I also, as we know, we were able to give 2 grants totaling $1,000 to the family that are competing in the Panama Games. And I spoke to them because they both work at Metro, Xavier and Naomi. And it's amazing. They're going on their own. They support each other. They're feeling very confident and excited for this opportunity. And I think their first event, I think they flew this past Monday, and they are going to be competing on Saturday. And I told them the whole Pontiac is behind them, and we just look forward to hearing how well they do. And as their father had told us, that if they do well and place in a certain standing, they go on to the Olympics. So we would have 1 or 2 of them going on to the Olympics on behalf of the Pontiac. So amazing. That's a very good question. I don't know if I don't know that they are, but they're in Peru. Anybody know over there with the media? Chip? Oh, fantastic. Excellent. So just consult Chip. Public question period. Any members of the public here? No? Questions, questions from the public. Yes, we received quite a few today. And they are right here. Okay. The first question is from Jean-Philippe, who is actually lives in Luskville. His question is concerning the Black River, and I have already passed this on to Odie, and she has an answer, which is great. So it's en français, I'll just read it. Sur le chemin de la rivière Noire, qui a multiple usages, n'y aurait-il pas lieu d'installer des repères de kilométrage qui aideraient à améliorer la sécurité des usagers et une localisation plus rapide pour les premiers répondants lors d'éventuelles interventions. Également, cela faciliterait le travail des répartiteurs du service 911. So the question was sent to Odie, I think in English. And Odie, there's a microphone right in front of you. You may have to turn it on, or is it speak in it? Is it already on?
We own 18 kilometers. We would need 9 signs, which is a good idea. We're going to talk about it at council. We have also asked the fire chief, Larry Purry, to go look at it to see. We don't think there'll be much to do with public safety because there's not that many homes there. But anyway, and above that is the MRC. But what we found is that they're not publicized like for where the markers are now. People don't know they're there. So Larry's going to make some suggestions on what we should do, but it's a good idea.
Okay, that's excellent. Thank you, Odie. Really fast follow-up, considering you just got the question today. Thank you so much. So I'm not sure if Mr. Philippe is listening, but we can certainly communicate this to him. Second question is from Mr. Gino Dion, and it came to Bernard. And what Gino is asking is that in the past, where Pontiac hasn't really received any guaranteed approvisionnement, you know, the GA, the wood guarantee, now that there will probably be a new minister of the MFFP, we don't know whether it will be Minister DeFore or someone else. That decision's being made tomorrow. It will all be announced. So he's asking that we request that we will receive GAs for future forestry industrials and any current industrials. I think this needs a bit of work. We won't vote on it tonight because one thing that I learned in the last 5 years is you can't just ask for it by region. It requires a business plan. So in the past, when we were hoping to get GAs, without mills open, we couldn't. Now that Rapide already has their hardwood and pine softwood GA because they never stopped paying for it and they have it. So they're all set to go and they're going to start in November with red pine, white pine. And by the way, let's just all say hip, hip, hooray that we're back in business in forestry. And we're not sure when the ribbon cutting will be, but we'll let you know. And anybody that wants to be up in Swisha, I know that Doug will be there with bells on, and Jim Gibson is also asked to please be known when it's going to be. But anyways, unfortunately, with Javelco being closed as long as it was, and Davidson, there was not a payment every year of that wood GA. And so we lost it. That's just the way it works. It's business. And so we now have a proposal for Javelco, and they will need wood. And we hope that Davidson will reopen as well. So we'll work on this in the next month. Perhaps we could have a forestry meeting, committee meeting, and we'll bring this back. But thank you, Gino, because it's an excellent idea. It's just that it's so competitive And I've also heard that they're going to be cutting back on the pine allocations even that exist this year. Number 3, from Amy Taylor in Chapeau. Warden Toller, as warden and elected official of the region, one would expect you to lead by example, to uphold the promises made during elections. You continue to use your Facebook page in your official role as warden to give updates and news important to the region's ratepayers. After campaigning of a transparent democracy, why are you still continuing to inhibit democratic participation by ignoring emails and blocking those same ratepayers from viewing your Facebook page used for official purposes? So first of all, I have to admit, I haven't really been making good use of my Facebook page. You know, I went for a few months without putting anything. If Amy Taylor feels she's been blocked, I will take a look at that. And if I did block her, I will unblock her. But it's not my habit to do that because I'm not afraid to have criticism. And if I feel it's worth responding to, I do. But I don't block people. Second question, what actions has the MRC taken to retain and attract business to the Pontiac region? Well, where do we begin? How has the link, I think we know that we have a whole investor attraction part of our economic development. And recently, by the way, do you know that Colleen Jones and Claude Gallipo are in Quebec City because they were asked to come? We may be receiving an award. It's for some kind of tourism. Is it for the destination Pontiac? Van life, for the van life. So good for them. But anyways, getting back to this, please be assured, Amy, that we are working hard to retain and attract business in many different ways. And I would say we've never had in the last 5 years as many investors, major investors, asking about all kinds of business and properties. So it's looking very positive. We're optimistic. How has the language laws affected these plans, if at all? Haven't heard. I think people are concerned if they're going to be moving here with business, will they still receive bilingual service? And most mayors have assured me that they plan to still offer English and French services in their municipalities. And by the way, I also learned during the election that the 15 of 18 municipalities that asked to keep their bilingual status, it was granted to everyone. No one in Quebec was turned down by the CAC government for their bilingual status. Exactly how many business permits were applied for and accepted or denied in 2021, 2022? We'll have to look into that. Don't have the answer for that tonight, but I don't know that we're denying too many business applications. And yeah, so I don't have the information on that. Does anyone around the table want to add to that particular point? Okay, we'll go on to her question 3. In June, the council agreed that most of the items on the plenary agenda are not confidential. Considering that many residents have asked and to further promote transparency as well as an understanding of the democratic process, has a final decision been made whether plenary meetings will be made viewable to the public? And if the decision is made to allow for it, being the tech equipment is already purchased and available for such purpose, when could we expect to view the meetings? So this is still a work in progress. One thing that we have decided is that there are items that probably don't need to be at the plenary. We just don't want to be talking about something twice. So what we might look at in future meetings is referring some items just to the public meeting. Incidentally, there is no MRC right now in Quebec that has open plenary meetings. So we would be a leader if and when we start this. But the city of Gatineau has tried to look at their agenda and move some things to the public meeting where there can be some discussion and debate. I think it makes the meetings more interesting. Now we'll go on to Pat Guyette. Question number 1. Warden Toller, you indicated that the resolution to allocate $19,525 for human resource was for training. When is this training? How many employees are taking part? Who is giving this training? So I can simply say that the training has been ongoing and it has been to improve overall operations of the MRC Pontiac. And if there is anything to report, we will report it. Question number 2, Mr. Goyette. Mayor Spence. Now, in fairness, Mr. Goyette, I have not had a chance to show this to Corey because it arrived today at 10:04, and I'm sorry I did not send this to you. Mayor Spence, you or your administration had a month to research the question that I directed to you at last month's meeting. I would appreciate an answer. I think you gave an answer. You said no, but I think the question, the question was, how many are there any new jobs or something being created? I don't know. But do you remember what the question was? You had a list of questions? Okay. Okay. All right. So,
Yeah, so if he wants to email those questions directly to me, he can find my email address on the Illusionimed website, and I'll be happy to respond to it.
thank you very much, Mayor Spence. Question 3 from Mr. Goyette. Warden Toller, your comment that I wanted us to be the poorest MRC. It's a fact that we are the poorest. Data for 2020, the average disposable income per capita for the MRC Pontiac is $26,658, which places us last in all MRC in the province. Also, we are last for the previous 2 years of your administration. In all respect, would that not rank us as the poorest or the worst performing MRC in the province? Well, you know, Mr. Goyette, I don't dream these facts and figures up. I have it so well memorized because I'm so proud of the fact. We only know how we've done in the province of Quebec against all other MRCs up until 2018, and that was announced in 2020. And I don't know why the information takes so long, but on a list of 104 MRCs, we moved from 102 up to 96. That's 6 positions up. In comparison, Valley de la Gatineau was at 103. They only went to 102. And Papineau was at 83 and they slipped down to 85. So just comparing to 2 other regions in the Outaouais, we are doing very well. And that was just based on 2016 to 2018. I can hardly wait to see when it's announced. Hopefully, they're working on it. It's called Portrait of a Community by the ODO. And they will tell us where we went from 2018 to 2020. But we do know, and I've never made a formal announcement, but the Canada Census shows shows Pontiac, instead of 14,200 people, we're over 14,700. We've gone up over 500 people. And you know, not everybody fills out the census, unfortunately. But we also know that we have never seen so many people moving here. As in this past year or 2. And so, you know, hopefully this will be the last time I have to answer this because it's not a question of being right or wrong. I think it is more a question of just let's celebrate the fact that Pontiac is moving forward. Question number 4, Mr. Goyette. Warden Toller, did the MRC or any other government agency have any financial participation in the reopening of the Rapide des Ouachans mill? Very proud to say, no, the government didn't give any money for the opening of this. Bill Kane Jr. decided to spend $1 million because the mill was already in very good shape. They never did disconnect the hydro, and it was, you know, not difficult to get it reopened. And did Commonwealth do it on its own? Yes, they did. And we're so proud that Commonwealth Plywood is reinvesting in the Pontiac. And they have said in their press release, it will be 65 jobs, probably about 20 in the plant, first shift, red pine, white pine, and the rest will be out in the bush. But Pat Goyette says, congrats to all. Thank you very much, Mr. Goyette. We really appreciate that. And I say congrats to all. Let's just have a round of applause for MRC Pontiac. First, hopefully the first of many ribbon cuttings to come, of many. Mr. Goyette, 5th question. Warden Toller, I was reading Hydro-Quebec call for tenders for renewable energy. Deadline was July 22nd this year. The list of those chosen by Hydro to go forward were there. It didn't include Davidson, Cogen, or energy from waste. How can these projects be viable when they're not on the list? Well, the simple answer is that this call for projects was for projects that are ready to move forward right now. We don't have the Davidson Mill business plan completely in place yet. And the energy from waste, well, we're just taking a bus tour next week to go and visit a facility. So, you know, une étape à la fois, as they say, one step at a time, and slow and steady wins the race. So when I'm told by Alain Paquette last week, they are so anxious to get more hydro produced. And our premier has said that the time has come. We need more hydro. So when we're ready with projects, I have no concern that we will be given a contract. And that's the end of the questions. Thank you for everyone's input and patience. It's important to have these questions, and it's important to do our best to answer them. Oh boy, a presentation. I missed this at 6:30. Is this person still available, Nat? Okay.
Yes.
Someone
I
should have
am.
reminded me. I'm sorry, Monique.
That's
Monique?
okay.
Okay, I just want to say, first of all, very happy to have you here. And Monique is going in an amazing race in Morocco. And she is in a race that is only for women. And she's going to be on like an ATV dune buggy type of machine. She's going to have one other woman with her. And she very much wants to carry the flag of MRC Pontiac. So it's not until the spring, but Monique, go ahead and make your presentation.
Yes. So can you hear me well?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, great. So I'm just doing a presentation of myself for the people who doesn't know me. My name is Monique, and I'm in Pontiac since 26 years now. I worked before at MRC Pontiac at my first years, and after at Centre de Santé du Pontiac. And now it's 6 years that I'm working in Nunavik. So I'm here in Kuujjuaq and working at the health center.
I'm sorry that we kept you waiting for an hour. My goodness.
No, it was really interesting.
Right now. Okay.
No, it was really interesting to know all what happened in the Pontiac. Yes, I wanted to talk to you about my new adventure to come. It's the Rallye Aïcha des Gazelles in Morocco. I don't know if some of you knows about that rally. It's 100% rally just for women. And it's no speed, no GPS. It's like an old-fashioned way to do the rally just with compass and a map. And the goal is to do less kilometers every day. And it's in the desert, in the Morocco desert. And we have a certain number of flags of checkpoints to find. So it's about 15 days in the desert in a 4x4 vehicle. So it's an international, so a lot, I think 160 people, women are coming from all the world. But what is interesting in that rally is that the business, the entreprise, sorry, who is organizing this rally, it's also a social and environment responsible. That means that during the rally, they have a caravan, a medical caravan, which is going to all the different villages in the desert. And so they bring medical materials, and also specialists are going with them. And on the other side, it's also environment responsible, because, for example, all the water bottles that are used every day are recuperated, and they put sand, for example, in the bottle, and they use it to build buildings like schools and other buildings that are needed there. So that is an interesting also way to have that rally. It's international, so that means also that it's covered, worldwide covered. So with all the medias that you can imagine. In Canada, we have TV5, TV5 Monde. We have Radio-Canada, we have BBC, and also Facebook, internet pages, Twitter, Instagram. Our team, so it's me and my friend Nicolina. She is living in Montreal. And so it's like a good, how can I say, a bon défi, because I'm living in the Pontiac, I'm working in Nunavik, and she's living in Montreal. So you can imagine how it is difficult to do something together because we have a lot of events that we would like to organize. So it's interesting. And Nicolina, I just met her this year. So also it's a new person, I would say. Usually when you see all the other participants, they are say relatives, like the mother or the daughter, or good friends. So we just met this year, so it's interesting also. The values of this rally are courage, perseverance, surpassing ourselves, and tolerance. And that is what I was thinking after when we will return from this rally. I would like to do conferences in high school, but also for adults, to like talking about that depending any age, you can do what you want, you can realize the dreams that you have, and you can surpass yourself. I'm 56 years old now, and it's the first time I will do a rally. It's the first time I will go in a desert in Morocco with a 4x4, and I will have to verify if my vehicle is safe, and so it's really challenging. But say I'm thinking, for example, to prevent dropping out of school. It can be a good way to sensibiliser, to talk to the kids that you can do it. You can do it when you have the courage and the perseverance. So that's what I would like to do when I come back. And yes, we have, of course, a budget, because this rally is really expensive, as you can maybe imagine. Just the subscription is $20,300 for two. And after we have to rent the vehicle in Morocco, we have to buy, to pay the transportation to go there, the security system, trainings, mandatory trainings that we have to do. So it's a total of 35,600 approximately that we have to pay. So for that, we are doing, as I say, the fundraising. So say participating in events or organizing events, activities. We will have a GoFundMe also. And we have a sponsorship, so organization can have their logo on our vest, on a helmet, on T-shirt, and on the vehicle. So, and as you say, I would be very proud to take the flag of the Pontiac, the MRC Pontiac, the Pontiac with me, and to put it on my car, and to drive in the desert of Morocco with the flag. And there is visibility before, there is visibility before, during and after the rally.
Well, I think that we can certainly provide you with a flag, and all we ask, we want one picture of MRC Pontiac flag out in the desert in Morocco.
Of course, of course.
And what month is it, April?
Okay, it's there is one coming in March next year. But to be honest, as I said, we have to have the amount. For the moment, we are far away, I would say. So if it's not next year, for sure, we will go 2024.
Okay, so you may have to see how your fundraising goes.
Yes.
I have some
Yes.
ideas that I could send you an email about on how
Yeah.
you might be able to do that. And we would also certainly, this is on Facebook Live now, and you know, our media are here, our local media, maybe some of them would interview you and follow up. And I'm sure that people would be very interested in helping you out. So I just, unless there are any questions from the mayors, thank you so much. I just thought when I met you that this is such an interesting story. And we're really delighted that you want to take our flag and be the team from MRC Pontiac. So
Yes.
thank you so much. I'll be in touch with you. I have
Okay. Thank
your-
you.
Yeah,
Thank you. Have a nice evening.
And good luck. Let us
Thank
know
you.
how it's going this year.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, well, that was very interesting. We'll now go on to general administration, 14.1.1, the Bank of Hours, Relais Laval, Bernard Roy. Resolution.
Un contrat a été octroyé à Relais-Laval au cours d'une suite à l'appel d'offres public qui a eu lieu en mai dernier et qui prévoyait une banque d'heures de 1840 heures pour des travaux techniques d'évaluation à réaliser en 2022. La MRC a demandé à Relais-Laval d'ajouter 1000 heures supplémentaires au contrat qui sont estimées requises pour rencontrer ses obligations d'ici la fin de l'année 2022. So a contract was awarded to Relais-Laval following the public call for tender in last May, which provided for a bank of 1,840 hours for technical evaluation work to be carried out in 2022. So the MRC has asked Relais-Laval to add 1,000 additional hours to the contract, which are estimated to be required to meet its obligation by the end of year 2022. Total cost will be $75,000 plus tax. We need a resolution for that.
Any comments or questions? Could I have someone move a resolution, please? Moved by Pro Warden Sandra Armstrong. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. Thanks, Bernard. And then we go on to 14.2, Transport Adapté, Revised Transit Plan, Paratransit.
Oui, la prochaine résolution est pour confirmer que tous les critères ont été rencontrés pour rendre admissible la MRC de Pontiac à une subvention du MTQ à l'égard du transport adapté fourni par Transport Action, ce qui suppose la confirmation d'un engagement financier, le dépôt d'un plan annuel de développement et la confirmation du nombre de transports effectués ou prévus dans les 2 dernières années. The next resolution is to confirm that all criteria have been met to make the MRC Pontiac eligible for a grant from the MTQ for paratransit provided by Transport Action. Among other criteria, so the confirmation of an amount of $118,200 as the financial participation of the MRC Pontiac in the paratransit subsidy program, the adoption of a development plan of services and the reinvestment strategy for the surpluses, and the confirmation of the number of transport carried out or planned for the last 2 years. So 2021, there were 12,990 trips. And year 2022 we expect to realize 18,996 trips.
All right, yes. Any questions or comments? Could someone move this resolution? Moved by Mayor Ed Walsh. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. We'll move on to 14.3, the Transport Collective 2022 to 2025 Development Plan Public Transit, a resolution.
Essentiellement, c'est la même démarche, mais cette fois, c'est pour le transport collectif et avec une différence, c'est que la planification porte sur 3 années et non pas une planification annuelle. It's the same procedure for the public transit provided by Transport Action, with the difference that this time the development plan is now a 3-year plan. So the resolution includes the number of expected trips over 3 years, the adoption of the development plan, and the confirmation of the financial participation of the MRC, so $100,000 a year.
Any comments or questions? I have a resolution, please. Moved by Mayor Christian Roncoeur. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. Go on to 14.4, budget estimates, 3-year projection, 2022 to 2025. This is for Transport Action, a resolution, Bernard.
Yeah, again, it's a 3 years budget, the budget of Transport Action for collective transportation. So we have to adopt the attached document, which is the budget of Transport Action. It's for the 3 years, and you'll see in it that the contribution of the MRC, you see a line, and it's marked $25,000 each year.
Okay, any comments or questions? Could I have someone move this resolution? Moved by Mayor Colleen LaRiviere. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. 14.5, the notice of motion and draft bylaw 283-2022. This is the expenses and revenues of the MRC Pontiac. Annie, do you need to say anything on this? No? Okay. Bernard? A notice of motion.
Yeah, but I just mentioned that November is the month where we adopt the budget. So 1 month before, we need someone to give the notice of motion. I see on my left, Mayor Donnie, I know that wants to.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Donnie. And we do not vote on that. 14.6, sale for taxes, Chichester, L'Île-aux-Allumettes, and Clarendon, a resolution, Bernard.
As you know, many of those resolutions adopted each month. So this month we have four properties that have been sold by the public auction for tax sales. So one in Chichester, the number lot 6071763, 2 in Clarendon, 5638884 and 5638885. Those 2 lots in Clarendon. And the last one is in Allumette Island, lot number 4604735. So the resolution is to authorize me and or the warden to sign the document.
Any comments or questions? Moved by Mayor Brent Orr. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. Tarification. The fees for 2022 tax sale files, a resolution.
On vous a soumis en juin dernier une résolution qui confirmait la procédure à débuter pour la vente pour taxe, qui a d'ailleurs eu lieu en septembre, dans laquelle résolution on indiquait un montant qui était le montant de 2021. On n'a pas fait l'ajustement qui faisait suite, qui aurait dû être fait parce qu'on avait reçu, lors de notre invitation sur une période de 3 ans, on avait reçu les tarifs indiqués dans le projet soumis ou la soumission soumise par RPGL pour les années 2021, 2022 et 2023. 2022 a un montant spécifique. So due to an error in the resolution CM, it was in June 2022-06-05 regarding the fees applicable to the tax sales process for 2022. And according to the provisions of the 3 years contract allowed to RPGL, we need a new resolution to amend the previous, that will amend the previous one in order to reflect the fees mentioned in the initial agreement with RPGL. So in the resolution June, it was written 459.90 cents. And as you see in that resolution, the amount that includes the taxes, and the amount should be $471.40. It's a difference of $10, $10 plus tax.
Any comments or questions?
Non, il s'agit juste de régulariser la situation. From this year, yeah. That happened. There's no problem yet. It will maybe, you know, when ça s'en va sur au ministère de la Justice, c'est là qu'ils vont voir une résolution qui ne correspond pas au montant reçu.
Okay, thank you. We'll go on to 14.8 CPO, the Assemblée Régionale. Right, pardon me. Moved by Mayor Terry Lafleur. All those in favor? Opposed, and that carries. 14.8 CPO, the Assemblée Régionale de l'Outaouais.
Oui, l'Assemblée régionale de l'Outaouais, c'est une nouvelle instance de la CPO qui inclut une trentaine de parties prenantes régionales de l'Outaouais et qui se tiendra le 17 novembre prochain. En plus de la préfète qui assiste d'office à la CPO, il y a un maire élu qui peut aussi se joindre à cette activité. Et ça, c'est dans chaque MRC. An Ottawa Regional Assembly called ARO. This is a new structure of the regional CPO that includes some 30 regional stakeholders from the Outaouais. That will be held on November 17th. Among other objectives is to develop a cohesive regional vision and to express a unique voice brought to Quebec government and to coordinate efficient actions at the regional level. For the attendance of this activity to be held on November 17th, the warden is d'office member of the ARO, but there's also a mayor that could attend that event. And tonight we can nominate one of you that could also attend the activity.
Actually, I thought that the invitation goes out to all mayors. And in the past, like last year, we unfortunately didn't maybe advertise it well enough. But it is an opportunity to come. It is down, well, this year they were talking about holding it in the Pontiac. Have they said anything about that lately? Yeah, it's going to be decided. I've already discussed this with you at plenary. If it could be up here a little closer, I think we'd get more participation. It'd be easier than driving down to Gatineau. But it's not just one person. I'd like to involve everybody. He only wants one person? Oh, okay. All right. Is there anybody who would like to volunteer to be a part of this meeting on November 17th? Well, you are the pro warden. Would you like to attend it? Okay, great. Thank you. So Sandra Armstrong will, yeah. So, well, yes, Odie? Okay, this is the CPO, which is the organization made up of the 5 regions of the Outaouais. So it's the mayoress, France Billiel of Gatineau, that one. And then there is the warden, Benoit Lauzon of Papineau, There's Mark Carriere, the warden of Day Call In. There's myself representing MRC Pontiac, and then Chantal Lamarche for Valley de la Gatineau. And we have monthly meetings. There used to be an organization prior to when I became warden that involved about 20 organizations, and they sat around at a big table. That was abolished. So it was important to Maxime Pedneau-Jobin, who was the previous mayor of Gatineau, to bring back something where we could regularly hear from these groups, but maybe not have them sitting at the table with us every month. And so at the beginning of each monthly CPO meeting, we have 2 or 3 presentations from these various groups. So right now we're working on a couple of things together. We're working on a solution for waste management for the Outaouais. We're working on a housing proposal. That was that sectorial agreement that Bernard submitted on our behalf and everyone else submitted. And we're also asked to contribute money, and then recently we gave the $100,000 to the Banque Alimentaire, the food banks across the Outaouais. We worked closely together with the whole COVID, as you remember, especially when the borders closed. And we're working in particular on, at the moment, better education, better healthcare. And, whenever there's any issue that comes up here that I need their support for, I find it's been great because they always do give us support. So that's what it is. But this assembly will be kind of a day where there'll be probably a bit of a breakfast and a lunch, and there will be speakers. Last time they had the 5 of us at the front, each speaking about what we enjoy about working with the other wardens. And yeah, so that's what it is, Odie. Yes, it is. It's totally in French. So probably the fact that Sandra has offered to come, that's a good thing. Yeah. Okay, very good. So there's a resolution apparently. So we move that Sandra Armstrong will attend the assembly with me, moved by Mayor Lynn Cameron. All those in favor, opposed, and that carries. And thank you for volunteering, Sandra. We're being volunteered. Yes, now we're going to do, this is the 14.9. It's the CFP. Bernard.
Oui, on a été informé qu'une entente a été convenue entre CFP. CFP, c'est Connexion Fibre Picanoc et Explore, qui est le holding d'ExploreNet, pour la location de 57 km de fibre. Et 57, ça veut dire c'est une section de la fibre dont on est propriétaire qui va d'Otter Lake à Gracefield, ce qui fait 57 km. L'entente est d'une durée d'1 an et renouvelable et d'une valeur de 57 000 $. Vous comprenez que c'est $1 du mètre comme location. So there's we received the information yesterday that an agreement was reached between CFP Picanoc and Explore, which is the holding of ExploreNet, to use to rent and use 57 kilometers of our fiber. So when I say 57, that starts in Otter Lake and goes to Gracefield. So that's the section they will use. And the agreement is for 1 year, so starting as soon as possible, and renewable, and it worth $57,000. So it's $1 per meter. C'est $1 du mètre. $1 du mètre. Du mètre. $1,000 du kilomètre. Just to remember you that the fiber is the property of the MRC Pontiac. Yesterday, the MRC Valley de Gatineau adopted the equivalent same kind of resolution for another section of fiber. This renting, this revenue is at this moment important to just maintain and the maintenance of the fiber that belongs to the MRC. So we need a resolution tonight that was asked by the board of CFP to authorize to the board of CFP to conclude and sign the agreement with Explore.
Thank you very much. Any questions or comments?
Yeah, my question is that part of the fiber, now the rest of the fiber that's running into Pontiac, is that still being explored to how revenue or? Okay, nothing else.
Thank you, Donnie. For the moment, I think that's the only one, and that will be the only one on the near future. But I don't know. I'm not the one that negotiate. That's the information. You have to add another section, another part of the fiber that belongs to the Valley La Caisse. So the board reached an agreement for maybe 100 kilometers. So you have our section, this section. That money will help to keep alive the maintenance of the fiber that serves all of us, all of our municipality, the 35 municipalities of the two parts.
Yes, go ahead, Terry. Use the mic.
Okay. Two questions. One, I thought we were trying to sell it. Two, if we're getting $1,000 a kilometer, are we getting the same offer as Valley de la Haute Gatineau?
Just remember there are a number of partners in this. And the reason the sale has been slowed up is major concerns on behalf of the school board.
Okay.
They didn't want to necessarily go with the option that was initially being looked at, which involved the sale.
Okay.
Honnêtement, je n'ai pas toutes les informations. C'est des négociations qui se font à un autre niveau. Je ne suis pas membre du conseil d'administration de CFP. C'est une résolution, une demande de résolution qui arrive tardivement, qui est arrivée hier. À ce stade-ci, ce que je peux dire, c'est que les options là, d'aller chercher des revenus sont limitées à ce stade-ci. Tout le monde se branche avec la fibre. I will talk a little bit more in English. So the options to CFP are very limited. So customer are decreasing for sure. Everybody will have fiber to the home. And the only way to do, there's two options. You sell all the kits, all the network, or you keep it for the benefits of the municipalities and find ways to assure the maintenance of the fiber. So there's, I know that there's studies right now that are ongoing. Ils sont en train de faire des études pour avoir un meilleur portrait de la valeur. Je ne peux pas en dire davantage, il y a un petit peu aussi d'éléments confidentiels là-dedans. Ça a lieu actuellement. On the board, you have two members here of the table, this table that sits on the board of Canuck. Maybe when new information will have to come here, you'll be informed.
Okay. So do we know we're getting the same amount?
Yeah, I would say yes.
Okay.
But I can make sure. Okay, thank you for raising that, Terry. So now, is that it for CFP? A resolution. Did you want to read what we're voting on?
Tu mets la résolution. So you have here on the screen the resolution. So it is proposed by and resolved by the Council of the MRC Pontiac to authorize Mrs. Jane Toller and Mrs. Lynn Cameron, representative of the MRC on the board of director of CFP, to carry out all the steps related to the leasing of the fiber optic under the ownership of the MRC according to the recommendation of CFP.
Go ahead, Doris. Can you use the microphone, please? Thank you.
Is there some kind of a contract that comes with this, Bernard, like what you read there?
This is time sensitive, Bernard. Needs to be done tonight. Okay. But Doris is asking, is there a need for a legal opinion? The CFP has already been doing that, yes.
CFP and Explorer for the rental of 57 kilometers of the fiber between Notre Lake and Gracefield, considering that the agreement is for 1 year and is renewable, considering that the agreement is based on a fee of $1 per meter and is worth $57,000 annually, considering that the fiber is the property of the MRC Pontiac. Consequently, it is moved and resolved to accept. It's very specific to that agreement. You are more comfortable with that one?
I think they just needed to see that resolution. That makes it more clear. Any other questions or comments? Okay, can you please use the mic? Thank you.
Bill brought it up. We were just discussing it and
Is the blue light on?
the blue light is on.
Okay.
Yes, thank you. It wouldn't hinder any negotiations for the sale if this agreement was signed. That I'm guessing CFP has already considered this, but I just want to make sure somebody asks the question. For 1 year it may, unless it gets transferred, right? So that's my, I guess, a question that should come up. I mean, maybe it's generating some kind of revenue, at least to help the maintenance of it for us. But if it's going to hinder CFP selling the fiber, Could be. Could be. C'est juste, on veut faire certain que ça nuit pas à une vente.
I think there's a board that works in that the same way as you mentioned.
Donnie, you'll move the resolution. Okay, all those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. Okay, Bernard, thank you very much. We go on to finances now. Annie Vinecourt, and we'll need a resolution.
Okay, bonsoir. As you know, we've started the budget process, so we'll just catch up on that. We've had a first draft kind of drafted up of the 2023 budget that was discussed with some of the mayors on Monday for the first meeting. So we'll have another meeting coming up soon for everyone to attend. For the monthly finances for the MRC, we are at in our accounts receivables $1,474,724.50. We have a list of accounts payables. It is $126,267.65. Bills paid in the last month were $549,575.45, which I would say probably half of that was disbursements to other MRCs and the city of Gatineau for the PADF, which is managed here for the whole region. So they have projects and we have to split out the money. So money was sent out for that. There was also Transport Action, the MRC, part of the MRC contribution going to them. Those are just the larger amounts here that I'm seeing. The rest were just small things. And travel expenses for the month of September for council. So that's $1,076.53.
Any questions or comments? Okay, thank you very much. Could I have a resolution to accept this? Moved by Mayor Christine Francoeur. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. 16, we go on to the recommendations for COVID-19 financial aid. Annie Vinecourt, an update, and then a resolution.
Yes, well, there's 2 items recommended this month in this fund. One of them being 2 external USB drives to improve the backup system here at the MRC, and that comes at a cost of $787.39. And the other one was decision from council to budget $4,000. This is to receive Madame Nancy Audet to come to the Pontiac and do a presentation. I'll just read it out here. Presentation to raise awareness and support organizations that help children who are suffering from abuse or mental health issues. And we know that with COVID, we've seen a lot more of not only adults, but a lot of children suffering from different mental issues coming from that. So there will be an event here on November 10th. And so we're just reserving
Actually, the
funds.
date
Has changed?
yes, she
Okay.
couldn't come the 10th. Christine, have you got anything to report yet?
I'm sorry. She will be here December 10th, December 6th. I'm sorry, December
the
6th.
6th.
Yes.
In Fort Collins.
Yes, in Fort
Perfect.
Collins.
Perfect. Thank you. And her speaking fee was reduced by 50% for us to $2,500. And it was the mayor's suggestion, I think Corey Spence in particular, who thought we needed to spend a bit of money marketing it so that the hopefully space will be full, benefiting as many people as possible. So that's very good. Thank you very
Right.
much. And thanks for confirming a date. Anything else, Annie?
Note that those were the only two recommendations for this month.
Okay, thank you very much. So a resolution to accept this moved by Mayor Alain Gagnon. All those in favor, opposed, and that carries. Economic development, Bernard, you've got a number of items here, 17.1.1, the Gala Excellence Sportive Outaouais 2022, a resolution.
Oui, approbation d'un don de 1 000 $ pour l'organisation du 6e gala Excellence sportive Outaouais. Ce sera et qui est organisé par Sport Loisirs Outaouais. This resolution is to approve a sponsorship in the amount of $1,000 for this to the 6th edition of the Excellence Sportive Outaouais Gala. It is also resolved that the amount will be taken from the following budget. So $500 from donation and sponsorship, and also $500 from Sports and Recreation Fund. We need a resolution for that, but I just want to add something. This is now the period for it's a nomination period. So if you know someone that is an athlete here in the Pontiac and you want that person to be eligible for a grant, we have to do this before October 23rd at midnight, just before midnight. So dimanche soir avant minuit. There's 16 categories to be crowned for their sports achievement, with close to $25,000 in scholarships. The information I had 2 days ago, there's few people, maybe none from Pontiac at this moment. So you have you need the authorization of the athlete first, and you have also to do the inscription. So it's a message to do something. We mentioned, we know people are great athletes in the Pontiac. There's something we can do to help them to have money for their competition and also to be better known.
Thank you very much. Yes, who would like to move this resolution? Moved by Mayor Terry LaFleur. All those in favor, opposed, and that carries. And just while we're on this, I guess he's been watching, which is great. The father of Xavier and Naomi. And he said, here's the link. It's Camp Period Panamericano Sub 2022 YouTube. Anyways, I'll send it on to everyone. And then he says, Naomi will be competing in the 71 kilogram category this Friday at 5, and Xavier in the 96 kilogram category Saturday at 3. So we'll think of them then. Thank you, Sylvain. No, can they be nominated? Yes, they can, most definitely. Okay, well, they live in Mansfield. Maybe the mayoress of Mansfield can look into this. And no, but Sandra, it's a very good opportunity, and you only have till October 23rd. I'm sure you could get some assistance through Sabrina or someone here in the MRC. Okay, great. So did we vote on that? Yes, we did, I believe. Did we? Did we vote on that? I know Terry moved it. Did I actually call a vote? Yes, okay. Thank you, just making sure. 17.1.2, donation and sponsorship, request for scholarship from the Sierra de Calonge High School, resolution Bernard.
I will try to speak louder. Un don de 500 qui se veut aussi une bourse d'études octroyée à un étudiant d'école secondaire Sierra de Calonge qui va lui permettre de poursuivre ses études dans un domaine où il pourra développer ses habiletés en entrepreneurship. Cette bourse sera remise en novembre prochain. So the bursary request for presentation, no, this, sorry, it's my text. This resolution is to approve a bursary in the amount of $500 to a student of Sierra de Calonge High School who is pursuing their study in the field of entrepreneurship. The bursary will be awarded in November 2022. So we need a resolution to proceed.
Thank you. Moved by Pro Warden Sandra Armstrong. All those in favor? Opposed, and that carries. 17.1.3. The donation and sponsorship, Harbor Square Park, New Year's Eve fireworks 2022. We need a resolution, Bernard.
Un don de 250 pour l'organisation des festivités de la nouvelle année 2023 dans le secteur de la plage et du quai de portage du fort et organisé par Harbor Square Park Group. A donation of $250 to be granted to the Harbor Square Park Group in Portage du Fort for their New Year's Eve 2022 fireworks show.
Any comments or questions? Who would like to move this resolution? Moved by Marilyn Cameron. All those in favor? Opposed, and that carries. 17.1.4. Donation and sponsorship, West Pontiac Connects Indoor-Outdoor Christmas Market. Bernard.
Oui, un don de 250 pour l'organisation du marché de Noël qui se tiendra le 19 novembre prochain à Chapeau et organisé par West Pontiac Connect. So the Christmas market that will be held on November 19th in Chapeau. A donation of $250 to be granted for this day, this Christmas market.
Okay, any comments or questions? Moved by Mayor Donnie Gagnon. All those in favor? Opposed, and that carries. 17.1.4. Donation and sponsorship, West Pontiac Connects Indoor-Outdoor Christmas Market resolution.
La route touristique Les Chemins d'eau vise à faire la promotion des attraits touristiques et les richesses de l'Outaouais. Notamment, il y a 14 sites qui sont identifiés dans la MRC de Pontiac et d'autres devraient éventuellement s'ajouter. La résolution a pour but d'autoriser un financement de 5 ans à raison de 13 000 $ par année pour promouvoir la route touristique Les Chemins d'eau. So the tourist route Les Chemins d'eau aims to promote tourist attractions and the wealth of the Outaouais, specifically in the Pontiac. There's 14 sites and maybe more eventually in the future. The purpose of the resolution is to authorize the financial funding for 5 years at the rate of $13,000 per year for the promotion of the tourist route Les Chemins d'eau.
Okay, moved by any comments or questions? Go ahead, Donnie.
Yeah, my comment is that there any plans on extending it? Right now, it only goes as far as Fort Calonge. And Mansfield, Fort Calonge again. Okay, the two ladies at the end. But anyway, I'm just wondering, is there any
They may be working on it, but maybe a resolution from our table would be a good idea. So it's a little bit ad hoc, but Mayor Donny Gagnon is moving that we send communication from the Table of Mayors, the Council of Mayors, requesting an extension of the Chemendo past Mansfield to Little Zalumet, past Sheenborough. Yeah, right to the end, all the way to Rapid. All right, that we'd like the whole Pontiac included and that it be sent to the appropriate people. Okay, very good. And moved by Mayor Donny Gagnon, proposed by Mayor Donny Gagnon. All those in favor, opposed, and that's unanimous. Very good. So we'll go on now to the FRR Volet 2. 17.3.1, a resolution, Bernard. First of all, Stream 2 FR Structural Project Support Program for Groupe L'Île du Grand Calumet.
Suite à la réévaluation du promoteur, le projet déposé par Groupe de l'Île du Grand Calumet est accepté par la MRC. C'est un projet de 2021, donc accepté il y a un an. Le projet a diminué d'une valeur de 48 634 à 7 825. Il y avait une subvention qui était attachée, qui va proportionnellement baisser, donc de 36 117 à 6 260. Following a reassessment of the promoter, the project submitted by Groupe de l'Île du Grand Calumet and previously accepted by the MRC. It's a 2021 project. It's not a new project. The value of this project decreases from $48,634 to $7,825. The grant has already been allowed to the promoter in 2021, but it will be proportionally dropped to from $36,117 to $6,260. The amount that will no longer be spent will be added to the surplus of this fund, FR2, and eventually be granted to another project. We need a resolution just to authorize and to approve the change of this project, so the decrease of this, the value of this project.
Any comments or questions? Moved by Mayor Doris Ranchet. All those in favor, opposed, and that carries. 17.3.2, recommendations to transfer residual funds, FRR Volet 2 for 2021 to 2022.
Oui, les propositions des 11 projets recommandés, on va y arriver à la prochaine résolution. Dans le FR2 totalise 417 707,72 $. L'enveloppe initiale prévue pour l'année 2022 était de 412 939,10 $. La résolution qui vous est soumise est d'autoriser le transfert du surplus d'un montant de 4 768,72 $ pour couvrir la valeur totale des projets qui seront dans la prochaine résolution recommandés au conseil. So the recommendation to accept 11 projects in FR2 program in 2022 will totalize $417,707.72. The initial envelope for year 22 was $412,939.10. So the resolution we submit to the council is to propose to transfer an amount of $4,768.72 from the surplus of FR2 in order to cover the total value of the 11 proposed project to be granted in FR2. The surplus, which was initially $209,108 before the transfer, will decrease to $204,339.93. So a resolution to authorize the transfer.
Okay, I have one question, and that is that what will be done with that surplus? Will it be offered at another time in this next year so that municipalities and OBNLs, whatever, can apply? I think at the time this was announced that we knew about the surplus, but it wasn't added in. They've been kind of kept separate. So I'm sure we would like to see it spent and used. But first of all, first matter of hand, do you approve taking the overage, the $4,768.72. So from the surplus to help fund the projects that were approved. All who will move this? Moved by Mayor Ed Walsh. All those in favor? Opposed, and that carries. And so you're nodding, saying yes, we will be hearing more about that, the surplus money. Yes, good. So at some future time, we'll hear about it. Excellent. Thank you so much. 17.3.3. Yes, thank you. Yep. And Christine also leaving the room. Thank you very much. This is the FRR Volley 2 Development Projects Analysis Committee Recommendations, FRR Volley 2.
Dans le cadre du Fonds FR Volet 2 pour l'exercice financier du 1er avril 2022 au 31 mars 2023, la MRC de Pontiac a lancé un appel de projet structurant avec comme date limite le 16 septembre 2022. Une évaluation des projets, oui, a été faite le 5 octobre 2022 par le comité d'analyse nommé par le conseil des maires. So under FR Stream 2 for fiscal year starting April 1st, 2022 to March 31st, 2023, the MRC Pontiac launched a call for structuring projects with a deadline of September 16, 2022. The evaluation was done on October 5th, 2022 by the analysis committee appointed by the Council of Mayors. 15 were received, totalizing $791,332.99, of which $585,039.34 were requested in grants. 13 were declared eligible and 11 were selected for funding. You'll see on the screen the 11 proposed project to be accepted for grant this year. So, Amis du Manoir Saint-Joseph, improvement of the living environment, $70,000. Beauf Pontiac, a project called Garde ta Beauf Froide, $17,331.48. Comment? Ben, moi, là, si c'est la municipalité, j'ai pas de problème. Là. Yeah, I'm okay, but I think I was okay. Okay, let's move forward. Campbell's Bay Golden Age Club Accessibility Chairlift, a project of $4,876. Fort Coulonge Golden Age Club Building Renovations, $14,181.55. Le Patro Aquatic Project, $30,253. Pontiac Lions Club, this is only for the phase 1 renovation, $35,072.40. Pontiac Community Players, portable sound system, $11,541.65. Yes, cents. James Shaw Villa, $32,800. Town of Bryson, revitalization and beautification of living environment, $84,266. Municipality of Mansfield, Les Grandes Rencontres, $13,285.64. And the town of Otter Lake, the splash pad, $104,000. All those 11 projects totalize $417,707.72. This is the proposition that the analysis committee propose. Je le répète 2 fois. It propose to the council. We need a resolution for that. Who propose? Yeah. You all agree?
Did you vote? Yes. Okay, very good. So now we'll go on to
Infrastructure, and Kim Lesage is here with us. Thanks, Kim. 18.1, the snow removal contract for 2022-2023.
I hope it doesn't snow. We requested actually 5 companies and we got 3 bids. And the lowest bid was $4,300 to Dubois Mini Decor of Campbell's Bay.
Okay, very good. Any questions or comments for Kim? Could I have someone move this resolution? Moved by Odie Godin. Mayor Odie Godin. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. Thank you, Kim. And is Jason here or who is? Oh,
Thank you, Jane.
Jason. I should have eyes in the back of my head. Okay, so Jason, 19.1, the demands of the Quebec maple syrup producers, a resolution.
Yes. First of all, I'd like just to offer my sympathy to the Beauregard family and friends. So it was a privilege for me to work with Maurice. Just wanted to let it know to the family, especially. So yes, Jane, thank you. I'll go forward with the resolution for the support of the demand of Quebec maple syrup producers. Donc, une résolution en appui aux demandes des producteurs acéricoles du Québec. Donc, first of all, it's to recognize the important economic, social, and environmental contribution of maple syrup production to the regions of Quebec. Donc, premièrement, de reconnaître l'importante contribution économique, sociale et environnementale de l'acériculture pour les régions du Québec. Second of all, to support the maple syrup producers in their representations to the MFFP so that it favors the different uses of the public forests in a long-term vision that reconciles the interests of silviculture with maple syrup production. Donc, en autre mot, c'est d'appuyer, en français, d'appuyer les producteurs acéricoles dans leur représentation auprès du MFFP afin qu'ils favorisent les différents usages en forêt publique dans une vision à long terme qui concilie les intérêts de la sylviculture avec l'acériculture. Et finalement, assurer la sauvegarde du potentiel acéricole nécessaire à la croissance de l'industrie de l'érable. And finally, ensuring the safeguarding
of the maple syrup potential necessary for the growth of the maple industry. Resolution in support to this.
Any comments or questions? Could I have someone move this resolution? Moved by Mayor Alain Gagnon. All those in favor? Opposed, and that carries. Thank you, Jason. And then 19.2, the PRAFI application for the Black River. This is the application for the study that we were talking about that
Exactly.
Carrie
So-
Richardson worked on. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
exactly. So the MRC has been part of a committee working with the municipality of Waltham to find a solution for the Fresil problem on the Black River. So to continue this support, the MRC wishes to make a funding request under the Mamash Flood Resilience and Adaptation Program, which is called PRAFI. Donc, la MRC fait partie d'un comité de travail avec la municipalité de Waltham pour trouver une solution au problème de Fresil dans la Rivière-Noire. Donc, afin de poursuivre ce soutien, la MRC souhaite faire une demande de financement dans le cadre du programme de résilience et d'adaptation face aux inondations du Mamache, s'intituler le PRAFI. Merci beaucoup. Bonne soirée.
Wonderful. And just stay here for a moment, Jason, please. Would any comments or questions for Jason on this? Odie, would you like to move this resolution? Moved by Mayor Odie Godin. All those in favor? Opposed, and that carries. And one thing, if you see me looking at my phone sometimes, it's because people who are watching have questions sometimes and they send me messages. So this is interesting, Jason, because Jason took part in a press conference yesterday that was in Gracefield, and it was involving Antoine Lebel, Valley de la Gatineau, and Pontiac. I had put a quote in the press release, but I was unable to attend the conference. So Jason was there, and there is a committee, and say what the committee name is and who attended.
Well, actually, this is through the economic development department. So this is actually through David Sear. So actually they came up with this, as you know, that was presented at one of the plenary, a fishing and hunting committee, especially when it regarding economy. So in this case, we decided to work in favor with the other MRCs regarding the deer population, especially for the mature bucks. So in other words, we wanted to especially just favor them in the mentality and try to do awareness to the hunting population regarding harvesting bucks, especially maybe older ones, so we can have a better quality of hunting when it comes to whitetail hunting.
Thank you.
That's mostly
So
it
I
there.
heard from Ghislaine Ladisseur. He said, "Hi, Jane. I got back from hunting and listened to the interview for hunting deer that the MRC, and Antoine Lebel and Pontiac and Valley de la Gatineau wants to do. I don't agree with that strategy because you can have a 4-year-old deer with only 2 horns, and and have one 2.5 years old with 4 pins. They'll frig up the hunting, leave it as is, or closed everything." That is my opinion. I've tried to get on the site to write for the questions, but it was not available anymore. I didn't find that we had much time for notice. Thank you for taking the time to read this. Hope it's there before the meeting tonight. So I needed to just add that. So it's good feedback. And it was something that actually Jason had concerns about.
For sure.
Yes, for sure. So thank you very much, Jason. Is that all of your items? Perfect. And thanks for representing us yesterday. Now we have one final resolution concerning our community forest, and Bernard kindly has written this, so I will read it. Well, I dictated it, pardon me, to read your beautiful printing. I think so. And if not, you're right beside me. So basically, considering MRC Pontiac has declared an interest in a community forest, considering we have sent unanimous resolutions to previous governments in Quebec, first the Liberal and then the CAQ, considering MRC has recently been informed that MRCs must be on a list to be eligible for community forests. When this was set up in 2013, we were not put on a list. I think I know why. Probably because all the other regions wanted to come here and cut our trees. But anyways, we have a right now to ask for this. And Minister DeFore did say to me, Jane, after Abitibi West finishes theirs and the report is done, Pontiac can be next. We know we have to do a bit of preparation for it, but here's the resolution. And that we're asking that the MRC Pontiac requests the Minister of MFFP to add MRC Pontiac to this list of regions eligible for a community forest. First, we need to have somebody move this resolution. And may I simply say, I'd like this to be moved in honor of Maurice Beauregard, our strong champion for forestry in MRC Pontiac. And I hope and pray somehow he knew that Rapide's news. I'm sure he heard that Rapide is opening. So in his place, carried by Pro Warden Sandra Armstrong. All those in favor, opposed, and that is carried unanimously in memory of Morris. And unless there's anything anyone else would like to add to the agenda, could I have someone move closure of this meeting? Moved unanimously. Moved by Donnie Gagnon, Mayor Donnie Gagnon. All those in favor, opposed, and that carries. Thank you so much.